Hello ladies and gents, chess improvers. Today I'm coming at you with a video about mindset and mentality. I like to revisit this idea because I believe that this is a fundamentally important aspect of chess, and a lot of people tend to stumble very near the finish line because they do not have the right approach. So without further ado, I'm going to model this for you with a game. We are jumping into the Grunfeld, and I'm playing my own repertoire as per the beginner's d4. After all, what would an IM do? Bishop e2, knight c6. This is already an inaccurate move order by black, by the way, and I set about exploiting it immediately, except that I forgot to take this pawn here, immediately winning the game for me. But rook c1 is almost as good, second best. And at this stage, I already have a mentality, a mindset, which is that my opponent allowed me to conquer the entirety of the center. There was no pressure on the d4 pawn. There is no worries with my c3 pawn. They both managed to move up. I'm dominating the center, baby. And so from here on out, I am looking to do damage. I want to hurt them, because I have every right to claim that my position is ready for aggression. And so this is how it progresses. By the way, blitz game, 3 minutes. Knight e5. Takes f4. No questions. Bishop goes back, e5. I'm dominating the center even more. And I already have the plan of pushing the pawn to d6 virtually against everything. Takes. b6 comes. I play d6. And they played queen d7. Now, admittedly, here I did not play the best move by any stretch of the imagination. To be quite honest, I'm not even quite sure if I fully understand why bishop f2 is best here. I totally get bishop h4, but it's a bit unclear to me. I suppose I'm gonna click. So, for example, here I will kick the queen and then d7, and that's gonna stir the pot big time. But once again, I deem bishop c4 to be a much more human move, because it's just so delicious to attack the f7 pawn, improve the bishop here, potentially threaten with queen d5, you name it, it's on. And after bishop b7, we arrive at the first critical position of the game. I would tend to call it that anyway. I have got here 7,000 very strong and good moves. However, my mindset and mentality right now is the I need to go for it bro mode, because my pawn chain is just absolutely dicing and slicing the opponent's army half. My piece activity is off the charts, and I'm really looking to utilize this. So there is no more, building and trying to improve the position story here, because I want action. I'm ready. And so the first thing that comes to my mind is f5, which immediately, by the way, hangs 2 pawns. And the mere fact that it does makes me all the more excited to go for it, by the way. And this is the first very important obstacle, if you will, where you can separate very easily an aggressive, strong player from a lower level, club level player who, when they see f5 hanging both pawns, they back off. They go like, oh, bishop will take on e5, d6 becomes loose, and then, oh no, it's falling apart, don't like it. Which is just utter nonsense, because f5, bishop e5 immediately loses to fg6, and f7 drops with lethal effects. But more importantly, it's the mentality behind it. That we're not trusting our attack, and we don't get, so to speak, turned on by the possibility of hanging the entire pawn chain in order to smack through with elementary power. And by the way, I would like to stress, this is not the best move here, but this is definitely the first one, in my view, every chess player should look at, because if it works, it's gonna deliver major damage. Now, the only reason why it's not complete knockout, by the way, is because this pesky b5 can eliminate my bishop from the diagonal, and fg, bc, and then rook takes f7 is just a win, but not a knockout blow. I would have gone for it in a heartbeat, by the way, with queen e8 and then taking on b7, whereas if they come to c6, g takes h7 is a sensational win. I saw none of this, by the way, I will happily admit that, but again, you will never get here if you don't have the initial desire to really bruise the opponent as much as possible. And now it's mate in 18. But I don't want to get into this because A, it's very, very tough. And B, yeah, I probably would have bailed out here with bishop d5, which is still completely, absolutely, totally wrecking. But after queen c6, I'm like, bring it, babeski. Queen g4, and now actually the position turns out to be completely winning in many, many ways. I missed a fair few wins here, to be perfectly honest. Bishop takes f7 is winning here, but who can resist getting cute with queen g6 first? Rook d7, and for some reason, no excuse, I just forgot to play f6 here. I thought I needed to defend g2 first. f6 is just game over. We can put the pieces back in the box. But this was an awesome blunder by me because it allowed the second position to occur, which I also really want to nail home. Check this out. Queen e4. Now I actually needed to play a few accurate moves. One of them was bishop f4, then take, then bishop g5, and then going for the kill with f6. Now here, however, my opponent came up with a little bit of a cutie, and after takes, he gave me queen d4 check. And for a second here, I froze on king h1 because I realized queen takes c4. Right? Remember, your opponent is allowed to tactics too. And after king h1, queen c4, if I take the queen, I get mated. See ya. Now, of course, I do have rook f2 here, which is just complete carnage. But then I went like, hold on a tick. There is just no way that I don't have a punishment here after queen c4, given that my opponent's king is ridiculously exposed. I have been on the attack for the last 10 moves. Their king is trash, mine isn't. All of my army is working. On their side, there are question marks. So I like to call it arrogance. I really do, because that's what's in me. I don't display it outwardly towards the opponent. But what goes on my head here is that there's no way that I'm gonna let this slide. That's not gonna work, bro. And I'm beginning to think here how to punish it. And so after king h1, queen c4, instead of going like, oh, I can't do that, I'm like, no, you can't do that because of rook g6 check. Oopsie daisies. Pawn takes, queen takes, king h8, bishop f6 is mate next. Hello? King h1, queen g6, rook check, pawn takes, king f8, bishop h6 check, mate next. Hello? And finally, king h1, queen c4, rook g6, pawn g6, queen g6, rook blocks, queen takes e8 check, and next I can pick off the queen because there is no rook left on the board that can even check me. And tada, proven wrong. And all of a sudden, I just managed to counter-tactic my opponent's tactic. I played king h1, they promptly took on c4, and after rook g6 check, the arrogance, not the outwardly, outspokenly, obnoxiously behaving one, but the upstairs one here that tells you, nah, you don't have a right to attack my king here, bro. It's my game. That helped me to find this idea, which is not only very effective, but quite beautiful too. And after take, it was time to call it a day. My opponent went here, and after bishop h6 check, it's going to be Matutski next. So, the first two things in summary about this game that I really wanted to hammer home. When you find yourself in a position that is very appealing in terms of positional pluses, such as the pawn chain, the pressure on the f-file, the superior development, although that is debatable whether that's a positional or a tactical or dynamic feature, yada, 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 it's time to turn on the heat. And you need to move in for aggro. And when you move in for aggro, there are no half measures and there are no safe moves. I hate nothing more in chess than a safe move. Usually safe moves are garbage moves. That's their best description. This is a safe move because it's gonna win me the game. My definition of safe is when there's a big fat 1 written next to my name and the big fat 0 next to the opponent's game. That was the safe game. The one that is we are still playing and I'm busily protecting all of my pawns, that's not a safe game. Not at all. So yeah, go for it, man. And ladies, you gotta go for the kill. No question. F5. And once again, oh, I forgot to tell you, the whole entire plan after G takes was to play queen h5, actually sacking the second pawn too. And after bishop takes e5, I would have taken on f5 and the inevitable collapse on f7 is now becoming a reality, and that's exactly what I visioned when I played bishop c4 here. I already had my plan carved out that I'm gonna kill on the f-file and in particular on f7, and this variation demonstrates that beautifully. Now I'll show you an alternative line here with bishop e4, which is best for black, in which case I really like the idea of rook f4, and if bishop takes e5, then of course I pick off both bishops, so that's not playable. And if they play something like rook e8, I will then, thank you very much, eliminate the bishop, and I will come for you again. Or I can, actually according to the machine, I have got mate here already, or very close to mate, with rook h4 as well. I thought that we had, yeah, I thought I did analyze here rook takes e4. But anyway, the plan was here definitely to go absolute carnage. Yeah, rook f4. The only point of rook e6 that rook a that I overlooked, that if I go for this, they have the counter sack measure on rook e6, and that is, you know, somewhat respectable, at least. So I need to show you this. Although according to the engine, after queen g4, rook d6, bishop takes f7, king h8, and e6, white's attack again is going to break through, but this is far from obvious. So yeah, probably I would have just played here rook h4 and walk away with a reasonably easy W. So turn on the aggro, and don't forget that when it looks like your opponent is about to pull some swifties on you in a position where you don't really expect your opponents to have tactics, it very, very likely means that they do not have a tactic, and in fact deep and accurate calculation will prove you right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to smash the like button. Please don't forget to sub, to like, to super thank, to comment. You know the drill. And I am going to be back with the next video soon. Thanks for watching.